What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. Really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Daily Chelsea News here on the channel today. Look, there's lots to talk about, man. We are still in the depths. We're now in the bowels of the transfer window. Players flying at the door, the likes of Anselmino, Carney, Chukwuemeka, trying to still get the deal for the likes of Nkunku Jackson. There is a transfer war for Jackson suddenly. But when they snubbed him before, when they're all after your Sheshkos, your Yokereses, your Isaks, and they were like, ugh, don't want Nico Jackson. Now they are saying, I'm sorry, Nick Jackson. Ooh. Sorry, I really tried to crowbar that in, and it wasn't that great. So loads of clubs want him. I'm talking, what am I talking? Newcastle, Aston Villa, Bayern Munich, Napoli. Lots of top tier clubs suddenly all queuing up for our striker. Will he stay or will he go? Well, Chelsea are more desperately trying to sell. And Nkunku, of course, will speak about that. Well, what else we're going to speak about? Maybe a little bit more about the desired players that we're going to hopefully buy. Man United, those cheeky little sausages, tried to ask about Andre Santos in the Garnacho deal. Imagine somehow letting Santos go to bring Garnacho in. But fortunately, Chelsea went, no, go away, you're silly. So we're going to get into all of it today, guys. Strap yourselves in, make yourselves a drink, get comfortable. It's going to be a great video, I feel it. Thank you as always for liking and subscribing. We are like 198.1 thousand subscribers. And look, can I just take a minute here, yeah? Because I never really cared about numbers. I do this sort of robotic like and subscribe. But I feel just genuinely very grateful I can do this as a job. I work very hard. I've actually got 3 YouTube channels, but we'll talk about that another time maybe. I like early doors on Football Therapy. It blew up. I think the first year I got to 100,000 subscribers, and I got my play button, which is here. I'll grab it while we're doing story time. Here it is. Football Therapy. Look at that. Look at my patchy beard being highlighted in the mirror. Yeah, man. Very, very... I'm very sorry about that. Do you want to swap Andre Santos for this guy? Oh, it's so funny. Right, let's get rid of this. What am I moaning about? Oh, yeah. So, basically, very quickly got that. I made this YouTube channel in, 2019, the beginning. We are comfortable into 2025. So, I got to 100k, I was like, I'm done out here. I'm done. 100k, target reach. But over time, as we very slowly dripped more, and the subscribers slowed down to a glacial drip. I get it, I'm probably not everyone's cup of tea. And, I see why people like George, Eunice, they're probably more likable than little old Jan. But just to fucking get 200k, then I could rest. Anyway, enough woe is me. Let's talk about some Chelsea stuff. God, that was a very peculiar emotional breakdown I just had. Right, firstly, I do want to speak about the little Kazakhstani forward, Dastan Satpayev. Did I nail that? I've never actually, I've spoken about it on Instagram, but I haven't yet, referenced him on the channel. A young Kazakhstani footballer, I think we agreed to sign best part of a year ago. He's been playing in the Champions League in qualifiers. He plays in the Kazakhstan Premier League for a club called Kairat, and of the Kazakhstani national team as well. He scored 8 goals in the year 2025, league goals in 20 matches, which isn't bad at all. It's much better than 1 and 3 for a 16, 17-year-old. And most notably, he scored 3 goals, and he's got an assist in this year's Champions League in the qualifiers. pretty amazing, really, because this is big boy stuff. I know in the qualifiers you play lesser opposition, but 4 goal involvements in 7 matches for a young teenager, and he's been interviewed recently talking about his decision to come to Chelsea. Yeah, we got strikers coming out behind. I watched Shimweka score a hattie against Man City. He's on the 21s the other day. Just maybe something to think about. Right, so we're going to get into transfers, of which there's so many things still going around, circling the drain, stories that won't go away. Man United ask about Chelsea's superstar during Garnacho talks. Yes, so Ben Jacobs of Give Me Sport, of course, well-informed journalist, broadcaster, I suppose, said, yeah, they asked about him. Actually, for a while, Man United have wanted Andre Santos, as have Bayern Munich. And there was some concern in the Chelsea fan base that we would entertain some form of offers for him. I mean, I can't remember who, was it Bayern? Someone recently put a £45 million bid in, and Chelsea were like, kindly do one, and, end your pursuit. Sort of something like that. It was funny. So Chelsea do really, really value him, even if they're not starting him right now. It's not the end of it's not the biggest, shade of saying, oh, I'm not going to immediately start you over Moises Caicedo or Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea, they're £115 million men or whatever. We got Andre for his, snip compared to, his value now. And Chelsea want him. They're like, yeah, we want him. Don't worry, we're going to make money out of other players. Andre's not one of them. So Romano did basically reiterate, yes, there's absolutely no chance Chelsea are selling Andre Santos. He's part of the Chelsea project. He's staying. Maybe there was some concern from his position after having such a good time at Strasbourg, thinking, am I gonna be the guy here? I'm a little bit in a way, kind of like what Renato Vega was doing. I'm running hot. Do I really want to chill and stop here for a moment? But no, yeah, I think hopefully he's been convinced, stay with us, you're going to get game time. Heck, if you do really well, you start, man, you'll start. I do think that. And the story goes on. Garnett, look, let's just quickly get Garnacho and Simon out the way. Chelsea really want, again, reiterated by Romano, they really do want to sign both Xavi Simons and Garnacho. The players themselves really want to join Chelsea. All terms are agreed. Everyone's waiting. Garnacho has said no to Bayer Leverkusen, to Napoli, to Bayern Munich. Xavi Simons has said no to Bayern Munich. Man City, possibly. There was certainly Tottenham. He's like, no, I want to come to Chelsea. So it's locked. Everyone's locked. They want to go into their respective... Well, the players want to come to Chelsea. Chelsea want to sign the players. It's done. The only thing that's stopping them is exits. Now, I don't think these exits are, as in the exits dependent on them joining, are the really hard Rubik's Cube transfers, of which are Raheem Sterling, Ben Chilwell, them man. It literally is, now we've done some high profile exits, the likes of Joao Felix, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, other players too, Vega. I feel like I'm missing a big boy in there. Noni Madueke, others. I'm trying to think of that central. But it looks like Carney Chukwuemeka is now going to go to Borussia Dortmund. Aaron Anselmino is slightly different. He's a centre-back. Maresca himself said, look, I really like him. Great boy. Good defender. He needs to go and just be a starter somewhere. So again, to cite the great Fabrizio Romano transfer guru, exits are guaranteed, almost guaranteed, should I say, for both Carney Chukwuemeka and Aaron Anselmino. Today, as in Friday the 22nd, we play this evening, of course, could be an important day because Chelsea and Dortmund are in direct close contact to close the deal. So Carney would be £17 million plus a sell-on clause, which is nowhere near what they wanted 18 months ago, or whenever it was. But it's probably making your money back. So how much did we spend on them? About 20 million, so maybe making your book value back. But a sell-on clause is where Chelsea go. There's the value, because they believe in Dortmund have the capacity to sell players for lots of money. Jadon Sancho, 75 million, and others. They do make a lot of money in sales sometimes. Jude Bellingham, Ousmane Dembele. Serious money, yeah? They make a lot of money. So if Carney becomes really good and he ends up going to Real Madrid or Barcelona for 80 million down the road, we might be kicking ourselves. but we'll also be like, oh, look at all this money we've made from buying him originally. And that would represent, I suppose, intelligent business. Aaron Anselmino to Dortmund as well, which is very interesting. Because, yeah, that would be a good loan destination. They're not averse to having a loan for developmental players. Of course, we enjoyed that very much of Ian Martson going there. It made us a lot of money, pure profit going to Aston Villa. And, yeah, man, so Dortmund. Sorry, I just had breakfast. Business with Dortmund. Now, business with everyone else as well, apparently. Aston Villa. The Villa, you're right. You're right, Birmingham. Apologise to everyone from Birmingham. They're now pushing very hard to sign Nico Jackson, but there is a transfer war for Nicolas Jackson. Again, Maresca was asked about it in his pre-match press conference, pretty much saying they're not in the bomb squad, they're training with us, Nkunku and Jackson. I think that's really important. Because they're not in the bomb squad, it's essentially saying if they're not sold, they will be used because I like them. But I don't like them enough to be starting them and understand how selling them is probably in the best interest. So he's not ostracizing them. If Jackson, more so Jackson than Nkunku maybe, I don't know, probably about the same now, because of different reasons. But if they both remain, they will get chances to help Chelsea. Maybe it will be like they'll start games in the league phase of the Champions League and they'll have their moments, they'll have their chances, but they want to sell them as a priority. But yeah, like I said, so Maresca sort of said, you know the situation, they're not, he literally said categorically, they're not going to feature at the moment. Until the window shuts, they're not going to feature. And buying clubs will like that. Just as Eze didn't start for Palace yesterday night because he's going to Arsenal, they'll be like, yeah, don't play him. Don't risk injury of these sellable assets until the window's shut. Romano went on to say there is a crazy race going on behind the scenes for Nico Jackson. There are many clubs who want him. Newcastle are still there, Aston Villa and Bayern Munich are closely monitoring him, and many more. There is a huge Jackson transfer war. He is desirable, man. For all you man out there that slagged him off, why does all these big clubs want him now? You could say, yes, of course, the striker market is ripe to be exploited, but he is a really, really desirable striker asset. And I think Chelsea, of course, there are, let's say, Napoli and Bayern. Napoli, I don't know if they have that much money, although they are managed by Conte, and when Antonio Conte is your manager, no matter how broke you are, he will make you spend money. Of course, my position on this is the fee to go to Newcastle or Aston Villa will be more expensive than for Bayern and Napoli. I say that, but Bayern have got money. They spend a lot of money on strikers. I think he'd be great for Bayern as well. I don't know. Point being, there's going to be a lot of, value here. Chelsea will sell Jackson. They won't sell him for 80 to 100 million like this initial rumoured fee. I think personally it will be a deal worth in total of 60 to 65, which will be doubling their money, which they think will be fine for their now third choice striker. It'll still represent excellent business. They'll do that, and then once that's done, this is my speculation, say Carney goes to Dortmund, Jackson goes to one of many of these potential landing spots. Once it's all done, someone will get, this is my opinion, someone will get a bargain for Nkunku. They'll go, right, we're in pretty good shape. Who still wants Nkunku? Yeah, you can have him for 30 million quid or something like that. I actually think that. I think once they get their value out of, make the sales of Carney and yada, 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 once they get good profit value out of Jackson, I think they'll be like, right, let's lower that Nkunku price because we can sort of afford it now. Do you know what I mean? Guys, let me know your thoughts. Leave them down in the comment section below. As always, thank you for supporting the content. I do appreciate it. Liking and subscribing. And while you're thinking, oh, we're getting Yan to that 200k, get me to 20k on the second channel. Yum, 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 yum. I'm eating up all your clicks, all your subscriptions. Yeah, I do upload every day on there as well. So go check it out if you dig it, man. Alright, I'll see you after the game tonight. Enjoy the football. Peace. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Nearly ruined the whole recording. Right, goodbye.